Hey my beautiful Libra peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and I'm coming at you guys with your May 2022 tarot reading. How are you guys? I hope you guys are well. Without further ado, let's jump on into this and see what's up. Okay, we're already getting started apparently. We have here the crown chakra and we have here spread your wings. So coming into May 2022, crown chakra, spread your wings, definitely feels to me like it's a time to let go of a lot of stuff that's been inside your head, Libra, okay? Have you been a Libra that's been inside your head? Well, then this is the video for you. I definitely feel like that's going to be your vibe here coming into your month. It's time to get out of your head. It's time to spread your wings. It's time to let all of these thoughts and things you have been overthinking about be released, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, first things first, before we talk about it, let's dive into your recent past here real fast to try to get a better gist of what's going on. So for the recent past for Libra, tell me what we got. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We have here the Four of Swords, we have here the Judgment, and then we also got here the Nine of Cups. So, looking into your recent past, Four of Swords, Judgment, Nine of Cups. It does feel to me like you've taken a break here because of a lot that you were enduring. You know, the Four of Swords is like, I need a mental reset, I need a mental break. This is the energy of typically feeling like you've had a lot going on, and because you were pretty overwhelmed, you needed to take a step back. But after that mental break cleared up, you know, you kind of gave yourself the chance here to get back into whatever it is you're doing, and honestly, that seemed to work for you. So taking a mental break in your recent past was pretty much needed for you to come back feeling refreshed and feeling good about whatever your approach to life was, you know? But it does seem to me that jumping back into May, that mental break, that reset might be needed again, because the crown chakra here, having an overactive crown chakra could be feeling trapped inside your head, having a lot of thoughts, feeling incredibly overwhelmed, you know? And the spread your wings card to me is more like the Fool card where it says, hey, it's time to let it go, you know? So I do think here that that mental reset could be pretty valuable here to you jumping into the month of May, especially because in the recent past it's something that's worked for you, so why not give it a try again coming in here to May. Let's have a look here though at the current energies before we jump to conclusions. What's going to be the current energies here for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Seven of Swords, okay. We also got here the Ace of Wands, and then we got here the Lovers. So I definitely sense that in reference to the future that you're building right now, you are doing something you're passionate about, but at the same time, the Seven of Swords is a card here of self-deception, or it could be deception in general. So you have to be mindful here, I feel, Libra, of what you're doing to build your future. Are you doing it in the most healthy manner? Are you getting enough sleep at night? Are you getting enough rest? Are you making sure that you have mental breaks in between? Because when we try really hard to to get success in our life, granted, it's great to bust your butt for any sort of success. If you're not taking care of yourself in the process, you're going to put yourself through great burnouts that are not going to be very beneficial to you in reference to the success that you want. So it does seem to me here that you might be pushing yourself a little bit too much to the limit here. I think that that's what the Seven of Swords is representing. I wouldn't say that somebody here is trying to deceive you or trying to cause any sort of harm. And I don't think the Seven of Swords is you either trying to self-deceive yourself. I think it's just you pushing yourself to the max, whereas you might need a little bit of time to reset here, okay? Let's go ahead and have a look at your challenge for the month of May. What is going to be the challenge here for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. And we have here the Death card, we have here the King of Cups, and we have here the Queen of Wands. So the challenge for you guys, Death, King of Cups, Queen of Wands. In order for something to change, you have to be heavily motivated and you have to put in a lot of work, time, and effort. And I think that you as a Libra, especially being an air sign, when you find something you're very interested in, when you find something you really love, it almost becomes like an obsession, you know? If you've ever seen a Gemini really get interested in like a good book, they'll never put it down. If you've ever seen a Gemini get really interested in a new hobby, they'll learn everything about it. And in a way, that's kind of similar here to Libra, because when Libras get invested into something, they want to make sure they know everything about it. You want to make sure you have all the knowledge that you need in order to be the best at what it is you do. So in this month of May, you could could be starting a new business potentially. Maybe you're trying to learn the ins and the outs about the business. Maybe you are focused on working on something already and you want to know how to be better at what it is you're working towards. So it feels to me like if you want things to go your way, you have to give your 110% commitment. And I definitely stand by that. I think it's important to be as knowledgeable as we can on what we want to learn and what we want to master, right? Because it does feel to me like some of you guys are trying to master your craft here stepping into May, but it is really important too to not let that get in the way of what your mental needs, what your physical needs, and what your spiritual needs are. Because at the end of the day, if you are not getting enough rest, right? If you're too focused and invested in what you're doing and you're not sleeping enough, you're not going to be feeling as sharp as you need to be in regards to what you're trying to do. Physically, if you're not taking a break, you can end up getting really winded when you're trying to do what it is you want to do and not feeling good, right? You can be feeling like cockapoo and nobody wants to be feeling that way. So ultimately, I think that your body here needs a little bit of a reset, okay? Your body, your spirit, your mind needs that reset in order to get back into whatever future you're building for yourself. Because Ace of Wands here to the Lover's card tells me that you're in the process of creating a future that you're going to love. Whether that be your future in career, whether that be your future in a relationship, whether that future be anything at all, you're creating or in the process of creating a future that you love, but you got to make sure that you slow down too and make sure that you're taking care of yourself, Libra. All right, so I think that the challenge here is getting yourself to actually take breaks when needed because you become so invested and interested in what you want that it's very difficult for you to take a step back. So definitely have some boundaries here with the future that you're creating. Remind yourself, Libra, that it's okay to take a break. You know, it's okay to take a mental break. It's okay to take a mental day. It's okay to take a day to rest on a physical level. It's okay to take a spiritual type of break if that's what's needed. Ultimately, though, make sure that you don't get yourself to where you push yourself to the maximum limit and then you're burnt out and then you feel like cockapoo and nobody wants to feel that way, okay? All right, Libra, let's go ahead and have a look here at what you're dealing with jumping into May 2022. What are my Libras going to be dealing with here? We have here King of Swords, we have here Four of Cups, we have here the Moon card, we have here the Strength card. Yeah, definitely screaming high achiever vibes for sure. King of Swords here to the Four of Cups is like, you're very focused, you're very locked in right now. Coming into May, you know, you're focused on creating high achievements. You know, you are trying to do your best here to achieve your goals. But with the King of Swords showing up over here, as determined as you are, what you're also starting to ignore is how you feel on an emotional level, right? Because Libra, it does seem to me like mentally, whatever you're working on is starting to affect you a little bit, you know? If you have been trying really hard to, you know, work on a relationship with somebody, you know, maybe that's starting to become a little bit too much for you to deal with. If it's like working really hard on a career, you know, that might be having an emotional toll on you as well. Because as a Libra, you know, you guys can be known as like the class A perfectionist type of people. Like my father's a Libra, okay? I love my dad to death, but if my dad does not do things his Libra way, and if it's not perfect, my dad's not happy. So coming from living with a Libra for a good amount of years in my life, I know that you guys want to perfect things, you know, and I feel like that right then and there can have a huge effect on your emotional well-being, trying to strive to become that perfectionist and have everything the way you want it to be, you know, because if something doesn't turn out exactly the way you pictured it, it's like, ugh, I'm irritated, I'm pissed off, I wanted it to be this way, but now it's that way. It's like definitely screaming perfectionist vibes here. So what you're dealing with is while you're striving for all that perfection, it could be taking a mental toll on you. And with the Strength card showing up here as well, you're still not giving yourself a break. It's like, I'm a trooper. I'm going to pull through this. I'm going to perfect everything that I need to do. And it's okay. I can ignore how I feel mentally because I'll be fine anyways. It's like, no, Libra, you got to give yourself a break when you need one. So I do feel like what you're dealing with is not really being able to push away that perfectionist energy, even though your body is literally telling you, hey, like, you got to give yourself a break here, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at where things are going, where are things going to be going here for Libras. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. We have here the Eight of Wands, we got the King of Pentacles, we got the Eight of Cups, and then we got the Two of Wands. So, based upon where things are going for you, Eight of Wands here to the King of Pentacles. Things do seem to be going well. I do feel like your hard work will be paying off here coming into May 2022, but at the same time, at what cost is what I'm hearing for you? Because your hard work will pay off for sure, Libra, Okay, so if you're working right now on a new business, I definitely see success in that business. You know, if you're working really hard at your job, I do see possibly you guys getting a raise or getting a higher position. You know, same thing with a relationship. If you're bettering a relationship, it's going to get better. You know, if you're working hard on something, you're going to see results. But with the Eight of Cups here to the Two of Wands, you know, it's going to leave you in a place where eventually you feel like you're stuck between a hard rock, or you're stuck between a rock, excuse me, and a hard place. Why would you be feeling that way? Well, you're going to get to a point where you recognize, with all the hard work I've done, with all the achieving I've done, with all the perfectionist type of energy I've put into this project, my career, my future, when is it ever going to be enough for me? That is the realization that you're going to have here coming into May 2022. You know, when is it ever going to be enough for me? Because you will complete one project and immediately move on to the next. And then after you complete that project, you'll immediately move on to the next. When does it end up being enough? You know, we hit this relationship goal. That's great. What about the next relationship goal? I started this business and I got X amount of money. That's great. What's the next amount that I'm trying to get? You know, it's okay to strive, to be greater, to grow, right? To acquire more. It's definitely okay to do that. But when it feels like it's not enough, that's when it can become an issue. And then once again, that's when it can start to take that emotional toll on you. All right, the Moon card. So Libras, what you'll be experiencing here in May 2022, if you're not giving yourself that mental, physical, and spiritual reset that you need, is not only inevitably a burnout, but you'll be experiencing a lot of negativity and pressure that you're going to place on yourself that you didn't even need to in the first place. When people strive for perfection, they always are going to be individuals that put themselves down, because perfection isn't a reality. It doesn't exist. There is no such thing as perfect. Everything is perfectly imperfect. So if you're striving for perfection, you're striving for something that's not possible. And what's going to end up happening is you're only going to keep on getting involved in that cycle where you keep chasing better and better and better, and it's never going to feel enough for you. And then you're always going to feel mentally drained. You're always going to feel unhappy. You're always going to feel dissatisfied and disappointed in yourself, when at the end of the day, you're doing great things right now. You're doing great work. You're building a great future. You actually are seeing results. You are successful, you know? So don't be too harsh on yourself, and don't try to strive to be the best, because you're the best in my book. I think you're doing great, and I want you to feel that way about yourself. I want you to kind of appreciate how far you've come. I want you to feel great. I want you to be happy with yourself overall here, Libra, and the work that you're doing, because you're doing a wonderful job. All right, so based upon where things are going, you want to be careful there, guys. You don't want to get caught up in that never-ending cycle of whatever you're doing and whatever you're working on just doesn't seem to become enough for you, okay? So I'm not sure if this will be a resonating message, by the way, for every Libra out there, because I do feel like this is probably going to resonate to the Libras right now that are working on something or doing something with their career. It could be something, though, in reference to love. Like, it could be about you just trying to keep on, you know, continuously improving a relationship, and then you may start to realize, like, when am I ever going to feel like this relationship's enough for me? You know, one thing to throw out there, Libra, is that if you're constantly working on a relationship that you have with somebody, whether romantic or not, if you feel like that relationship isn't enough, and especially the more you work on it, if you feel like it's not enough, that same answer is not going to change. So just a little bit of a word to the wise here. If you're a Libra and you feel like your relationship's not enough, no matter what you do, it's never going to feel any different. And chances are it's because of one or two things. It's because either that relationship is just not serving your actual wants, needs, and desires, or it's because you haven't served your own wants, needs, and desires, and have been so focused on trying to serve the relationship when you should have been serving yourself. So some of you guys, if that resonates to you, that might be a realization you're having this month here as well. But let's go ahead and take a look here at the overall outcome for Libra. All right, what's going to be the overall outcome here for Libra? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout May 2022. And what do we have? We have here the Four of Wands. I think that the Four of Wands here is a wonderful card to see for your outcome, because it's a card of stability, it's a card of success, it's a card of opening up new doors. You know, you can see your future, you can taste it, you can hear it, you can smell it. You know that this future you're working really hard on is going to end up working out for you. So I think that you're excited because the work you're doing is starting to pay off. But following up that Four of Wands, we also have here a Nine of Pentacles. Remember, though, you know, everything will take its toll. So no matter how hard you focus on expanding your career, you focus on expanding your like your personal life, or, you know, expanding your relationship, no matter how hard you focus on trying to expand that, you know, everything takes a toll on you. The Nine of Pentacles is like, you may be feeling great, pumped, and energized right now, but over time, King of Wands, things will definitely start to change. Over time, you might have to take a seat over here like this King of Wands. You know, you might got to take a step back. So Libras, I'm just throwing that out there. Word to the wise. You're doing great stuff. You're doing great work. You are successful this month. I'm incredibly happy for you, but I must warn you, Libra, make sure you're taking those resets. Make sure you're taking those breaks. Make sure you are applauding yourself every step of the way for all the growth that you're receiving. Don't get caught up in that never-ending cycle of it not being enough, because it is enough exactly where you are, okay? I love you. Great work. Keep it up. But also make sure to take those breaks, okay? All right, Libra, enjoy the rest of your May. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.